Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here again to bring you guys a update video over, I think it's version 2.12, I believe? Yeah, 2.12 of my Following Meteors mod. There's quite a few changes that were made. Let's go with the bare bones first. To make room for some possible updates in the future, meteor chips along with kryptonite chips are now able to be smelted into, drumroll, meteorite ingots and kryptonite ingots, as you can see here. Now the freezerite ingots, or as I'm calling them, frozen iron, is simply made by just combining the two in a crafting table to shapeless recipe, so just put them however you want, and boom, you get you some frozen iron. And those are what you're going to use instead of the chips and the kryptonite chips and the freezerite crystals for your crafting recipes, rather than what the regular chips by themselves. This kind of makes more sense, and it will be useful for the future when I'm hoping to do some kind of sync up with some other mods. Hello, pig. And for that, the meteorite ore, like the ore that's generated underground, actually has a decent texture now. It's just a little change that I did to make things seem a little more in tune with the game. Now the real meat of this update is going to be in this right here. This is the meteor shield. As I'm sure if you've used my mod before, you've used the meteor shield. If you haven't, then your house has been pummeled upon by the meteors, which is not my fault. So you just place it down, and it's still got the hum, as a lot of you complained about. But with 1.7, obviously you can turn the sound of blocks down, and you can also go into config now and turn off the sound. So that should hopefully stop any complaints there. Now, this is the new interface. As you can see, it's charging currently. This is just your display panel. It'll show various information. It's got some functionality to it right now, but in the future I plan on adding a little bit more. Can't really say anything without giving it away. It'll be more informal. Let's just say that. Down here is your modifiers. So as it's charging, you can wait for it to charge up, or like before, when you right-clicked with a meteor chip, you can just pop one into that slot and it'll be charged. Now it'll also show the power level, which determines the range of the block, which is still configurable, by the way. So the default power level is obviously 1, and that's 64 blocks. Before, the meteor shield would protect in chunks. Like it would be, let's see. Before, if you watched my other video a long time ago about the Meteors mod, it would protect it by chunks. It would protect this chunk and then protect 4 chunks over in all directions, and then it would kind of form like a diamond shape. Well, now, as I'll hopefully try and include, if I still have the picture in the video, I'll put it like in the center of the screen. It'll be like how it's more circular now. Instead of just protecting by chunks, it's actually realistic radius, where it's not just like this weird blocky diamond shape. Let's see here. And then of course you still have your upgrade slots. So you just pop the red meteor gems into it, and it'll increase the range, the power level, etc, etc, etc. Now, yeah, it's got a cool little effect to it now. I plan on adding to this. Like it still could be a little bit more prettier, but for now it's good enough. It even does it in your hand, as you can see, which also has been done to the meteor timer. The meteor timer itself doesn't when it's placed down, doesn't really change, but when it's in your hand, and obviously when it's on the ground, looks more realistic to it. Same with the meteor shield. And let's see here. Ah, yes. Some of you are probably wondering, what does this part do? what are these slots? Well, you can't put anything in it, so you can't really store anything. But, you know, what happens when your shield is just covering all your land? So every single meteor that does fall, it's just too far away. And like, if your radius is kind of small, then it'll, you know, it'll hit the shield and it'll just explode. Well, now the meteor shield will actually take part of the meteor that's been blown up and put it into these slots for you. So even though you block the meteor, you'll still get some residual goodies. So it's just a little functionality I think would be pretty nice to add. Let's see. What else was there? Ah, yeah. There, of course, is craftable recipes for the blocks in accordance to these, which, you know, you can make just like any other normal decoration block. And these blocks can also be used as beacon bases, so, which I don't know if a lot of you do know, but the red meteor gem does the same thing. You know, it can be used as a beacon base, although obviously more expensive. So let's see here. Anything else? Not too much else. Everything else has similar functionality. Oh yes, I forgot. I almost screwed myself over here. Meteors will now fall at a slant. See, you can see it in the air. It's got a nice chilling effect. And if you look carefully, they're actually spinning around when they're doing it. Now that was a summon meteor. Summon meteors will still fall straight down, but regular meteors can actually fall diagonally and land in the ground like a typical meteor would. So everything else is still normal. You got just the regular crash, etc., etc. I'm trying to think. There's something else. Obviously, this supports the Comet Kitties, the Kitty Comets, and the Unknown Meteor. So you'll get goodies from them as well. Like, given you won't always get the really nice stuff. Like with the Kitty Comets, you only most of the time get fish, but some of the times you actually be able to get a Comet Kitty. It's interesting. There's a lot of things that could happen from it, and I encourage you all to play it and find out what all you can get. Alright, I can't think of anything else. All this information will be available in the thread once I get it updated, and this video will also be more informal for you guys as well. I encourage you, if you're new to the mod, that you go back and watch my previous updates videos. It covers it pretty well. The Meteors mod overview does it really, really well. And hope to see you guys in the future. I hope you enjoy the mod. And a lot of work went into this. 1.7 had a lot of changes. There's no more block IDs. I encourage you to just basically delete your configuration file, because a lot of stuff has changed. In fact, don't even use your 1.6 world. I'm having issues currently with transitioning from 1.6 to 1.7 with this mod, and I may be able to make a patch for it, but with my current time, I don't know if I can or not. So I'll probably post more information about this in the thread. But anyways, thanks for watching, and hope you have a good one.